Hello, welcome to another episode of MP to Action, moving people to action, where we listen, we learn, and hopefully we cause some sort of action. Today, we have a great show. Later on in the show, we have the legendary Ricky Motown Brown. He's going to join us. He's probably one of the best that I know of in the country of impersonating the legendary Michael Jackson. As we know, his film it's going to be released, so we thought it would be fitting to reminisce and bring somebody that just lived, breathed, and just loved this man that impacted the world, Michael Jackson. So that's coming up later on. But first, we have my man Tony Jeffery. He's an author, pastor, coach, leader, lives here in Omaha. He's a father, two beautiful daughters, married to the beautiful Vita Jeffrey, and just been doing this thing here in Omaha. He's written 3 books, and we just really want to do a deep dive with Tony about motivation, his why and purpose, and what do he really would like people to hear, see, and feel with this most recent book that he wrote. Tony, welcome to MP to Action,
Man,
my
thank you
man.
for having me on, my man. And I'm glad you brought me on before the Michael Jackson impersonator.
Okay.
I would not want to have to follow that. But thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm a fan, as you know, I'm a music guy,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so I'm just excited, that I may get a chance to do my little Michael Jackson, I don't know, you got to feel it,
I'm going to let you do that, man. I'm not going to touch it. Yeah.
Man, before we jump into your books,
Mhm.
if we would, Tony, as I stated in the opening, coach, author,
Sure.
pastor,
Yeah.
man, you've done a lot, and talk a little bit about. Give us a little bit more in terms of just your passion, why, and kind
Sure.
of just your get up. What motivates you
Yeah.
to do what you do?
The coaching component is just the years of me being an athlete. And it's funny to me because Omaha is so rich with so much talent that has come through, not just musically, but we all know that athletically, there's been some fantastic athletes that come through here. So when I mention anything about athletics, it's
Yeah.
like, oh Lord, here come another one of these athletes talking about his past. But the coaching aspect that I look at is it gives me an opportunity to pour into the people who will come behind me
Yeah.
and help them to realize the dreams that they actually aspire to. And my hope and my goal is to give them something, a piece of what I got a chance to experience as an athlete, going to college and all of that good stuff. Man, if I could help you reach that
Yeah.
pinnacle and impact who you are as a young man or a young lady, because I've coached boys and girls throughout the years, to impact you to where you can see something positive from a male that's in your world, then I think that's
Yeah.
that's just a part of it.
And really, when I consider myself a former athlete,
Sure.
play a little bit. I had some gifts and talents, but
Yeah.
what knowing coaches is so much more than the sport.
Yeah.
Talk about a little bit. I know you mentioned some of it, but in terms of just kind of the coaching and the sport becomes the hook.
Sure. It really does. And the one thing that I realized as, the former athlete looking back,
Mm-hmm.
not really taking in the aspect of plan B. Mine was it was just solely about football. And then, so when I've been working with athletes and understanding is, yes, give it everything you've got,
Yeah.
but use the game. Don't let the game use you.
Use the game. Don't let the game
Yeah.
use you.
Yeah.
I like
Yes.
that.
Yes. So go, if they're going to pay you money to go play football, put the basketball in the hoop, run fast on the track, whatever it
Yeah.
may be, use that to keep propelling yourself into your further life. So if you're looking to be, a doctor when you finish, why not let somebody else pay for that while you're able to perform athletically and move on in life? But then there's this other aspect that I'm always warning athletes about. is making sure you get it all out of your system so you're not living vicariously through your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Let your kids have their dreams and stop trying to push them into the stuff that you didn't get a chance to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
So, there are multiple parts of being a coach that I really take seriously when I'm working with young people. Help them to achieve their goals, but also help them understand that there's life after these sports, and you have to continue to live.
Yeah, and you're building not only an individual, but you're building community. And I just, my time playing sports, I think it really helped shape and mold me in terms of discipline, structure.
Absolutely.
Because that's at, really what part of your life where you have that, concentrated, very intentional structure.
Yeah.
And it did me well. So, hey, you play a little bit yourself. I mean, you
I'm a former.
You got some stats.
I'm a former Razorback.
Razorback. Okay.
And actually, went to junior college first.
Okay.
We won a national championship when I was there.
Okay.
Actually set the record for the most rushing yards in a national championship game. So that's a little bit of my claim to fame in there, and then transferred to the University of Arkansas, where I was a Razorback, and I got a chance to play on the first Razorback team to go in the SEC. So, part a little bit of history there.
Right on.
Yeah.
Hey, let's now go into really what you came here to talk about. Is you got several books. Why don't you just introduce each book, and then we're gonna do the deep dive into your latest one.
Sure. So this, It Matters: Decisions, Consequences, and the God Who Redeems Them All, is my autobiography. In here, I explore just my life's journey.
Okay.
And some turning points that really impacted how I began to view myself. The negative parts of, what left me bogged down as a student, even in my own emotional development. And then what was the turning point that God used to help me see life a lot differently from a different lens, and how I see myself and how I interact with others that are around me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what about
So this devotional, this is the, I guess, the atom to everything that, spin that it's created. So this book created this devotional. And so what I've seen in ministry is many people are they want to read the scriptures more, they want to read the Bible more, but they don't know where to start. And oftentimes devotionals help to get people moving toward reading the scriptures more often. And so this devotional here, I try to make it an easy read for the person that is just getting into understanding scripture, and but to also motivate them to continue to move forward. That's why it's 21 days. There's some debate scientifically as to how many days you have to do something to create a habit, and all that good stuff. But I thought 21 days would be a good start. And so what you see in here is you'll see that this is day 11. You'll have a verse to read. Then there's a devotional thought that you go through.
Why don't you pick one?
Sure. So this one is God's strength in our weakness. In 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 7 through 10 is the verse, and then the devotional thought that comes in behind it. And then I give you a question to ponder. Where do you feel weak today? And how can you invite God's strength into that place? And I give you a short prayer, because I also recognize some folks have some trepidation in even praying.
Yeah.
How do you pray? And then so I give just a little bit of a prayer, and then give you some more verses to read, John chapter 15, 1 through 11, to give you some more space to just continue to exercise your brain as you continue to read.
Beautiful.
The thing I've been sharing with folks over the years, our faith is to be articulated. That's why we have a Bible. Wow. And we ought to be able to read that scriptures and understand it. And this is a primer for people to just go ahead and read the scriptures.
Okay, now let's Jasper and the Invisible Wall.
Yes. This is
Man,
a pet
tell
project
me
of mine.
about this.
So this one is pretty fun.
A lot of things going on here, buddy.
That one is pretty fun for me. So in one of the chapters in my book, I close out saying, what would you have done with the young Tony Jeffery? This is the book to young Tony Jeffery that I'm writing to myself, but also to kids that are coming along, and giving a tool for parents and teachers to open conversations with their kids about the discipline of school, understanding that the teacher is not in a space where they don't like you just because they're making rules.
Right.
These rules are here for a reason. The work is there for a reason. And just because it's hard, it doesn't mean you can't do it. And so I've read the book to some classrooms, and I'll give them a compass, because in the book, a little bit of a spoiler alert, Jasper has an experience with his compass that actually comes to life and helps him to helps guide him into making better decisions. So he has a little bit of a Scrooge moment in there.
Okay.
And so when he's going to sleep, the compass comes to life and it helps him make some better decisions. And when he wakes up, there's this awakening that happens where he's going to do better in school.
No, so fast forward, connect that to really what you see and feel, what's happening here in our community, really in these United States.
Sure.
I mean, it's just, how would you bring that to life, and to open up conversations or help people solve
Sure.
some challenges and break down walls?
Sure.
There's a lot.
There are a lot of
Dude,
walls.
there's a lot of walls.
Yeah.
That's up right now.
You know, to not overgeneralize it, what I have been witnessing is I've shared this thought with my wife and other people that I've talked to. I've not seen where the extreme sides of the political aisles have the biggest voice, whether they're extreme right or extreme left. I've always seen it where there's somewhere in the middle, and some of those things just weren't, some of the things that we're wrestling with weren't even at the forefront of our thinking. And so in my estimation, I recognize that, man, we just lack any form of grace at this moment. I don't think any one of us is wise enough to say, if you're not for me, you're against me. Because the issue comes down to this: none of us are wise enough to where we can't be corrected. None of us is wise enough to where we can't receive counsel. None of us is wise enough to say that my word is the final word. And a part of what I'm seeing in today's society is that we're moving in a direction that if you don't agree with me, then you're wrong. And we can't even come to a space to where we can actually work together and say, you know what, maybe you can be right. We're not looking for touch points. We're only looking for the spaces where we're divided with one another and we want to stay divided. And that's not healthy.
No. So we're only looking for spaces where we're divided. So what the action part of it is, how do we move through that? I mean, can we agree to disagree, or how do we? What's the action in terms of people that may be viewing this or watching or listening to this? How do you help them get through that and solve some of those challenges? I think you solved it in here,
right? Exactly. Yeah. So it is a matter of changing our way of thinking.
Okay.
But you said it. We can't even get to a point where we can agree to disagree. The challenge that we look at is like, no, if you don't agree with me, you're my enemy. And that's not right. And so, now there are some who are just going to be antagonistic, and there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
But on the whole, we keep looking at this thing and saying, when you disagree with me, then you're the one that's wrong, and now you're my enemy, and I don't ever want to talk to you again. As a Christian, as a follower of Christ, my disposition is I will never put anyone in that position to where there's nothing you could ever say to me to make things right, because God has been too gracious to me, and I've made plenty of mistakes, and he's never put me in a position where there's nothing I can do to come back and repent. So we're always in this position to where, as followers of Christ, where we can say, hey, man, you know what? I know we made that mistake back then, but how can we get back on the same page now and get moving forward?
Man, that's strong. And so, in terms of the action steps that I would like to see folks, one, go get the book. So where can they get the book at?
Sure. Well, you can actually.
And we'll be able to put some links up.
Sure.
In terms of where people can get the books as well. But go ahead and verbalize that.
Well, you can find them on Amazon. You can just look up Tony Jeffery, It Matters on Amazon. It'll pop up. Or you can go to my website. It is TonyJeffreyItMatters.com. Make sure to spell my last name right. Okay. Most folks spell it wrong. It's Jefffery. So TonyJeffreyItMatters.com. And you'll be able to get this book, my autobiography. This book is available on Amazon, and and all three will soon be available on my website here. I just have to communicate. I'm working on getting all of that stuff arranged on the website.
Man, and I think as we look to move people to action, part of it, Tony, is how can people help you? And so, They have libraries in their communities.
Sure.
They have schools.
Yeah, yeah.
I know there's a very long process in terms of getting a book, qualified to go into a school library. But I think I don't see anything here that would prohibit that. I don't see any words that would cause people to say, hey,
Sure.
you're trying to be woke, or you're trying to
Right,
wake some
exactly.
people up, or what are you trying to do here, Tony?
Only thing we're trying to do is encourage a child to understand that, man, school is going to be the best thing for you. One thing that I've recognized is I believe God used education to save my life. Running the streets. So when I injured myself my senior year in college, I was completely lost, because if anybody knows, when you play college ball, everything is structured for you.
Yeah.
They told you where to go, what time to be there,
That's right.
what time to go to sleep. So when football was over, I was lost.
Yeah.
And so I ran to the streets, because that's what my family was there, friends were there. I knew that space.
Yeah.
And I remember getting pulled over by the police. And we had stuff in the car we weren't supposed to have.
Right.
And I thought to myself, Lord, if you could get me out of this, because I spent 4 years in college. I have a degree, and I'm out here messing around with these streets. If I could get out of this, then you ain't got to worry about me doing this no more.
Yeah.
And because of my education, I had to look up and see something different.
Yeah.
If we can get our kids to invest in themselves, they don't recognize that education is an investment in you.
Yeah.
Then if we can get them to recognize that an education is an investment in yourself, which is what I'm trying to do here, then I think we can put more kids on the right track.
Yeah. And I pick up the whole notion of, a lot of walls that are really put up is self-inflicted.
Absolutely.
And those getting through those pain points, and like you're saying, education is a good thing.
Yes.
That's a path.
Yeah.
That's a path out of poverty, a path to career, path to jobs, and all that stuff. Hey, Tony, thank you so much for coming on, taking the time. If you can leave our audience with one very profound thought, not just any thought. We want to elevate the game at MP to action. So leave them with something that will cause them to move to action. Go for it.
All right. So, being an implant from St. Louis, I would just love to be able to communicate that Omaha is a beautiful city. I believe that we've got to learn to stop working in vacuums and work together to do what's necessary to build the community from a space of understanding that we've got everything we need here. And this community is well equipped to be as powerful as any other city in this country. Let's do what we got to do in order to keep moving forward. Let us newcomers be a part of that process as well too. Just because we're not from here doesn't mean that we don't care.
Ooh.
And so we can all get this done together. Let's make this happen, man. I want to see Omaha just blow up on it.
Yeah. I love it, brother. Thank you, man.
Thank you for having me.
I was like, damn, I can keep moving, and I got some other things. I'm going to have you come back. And
absolutely.
Because there's a lot going on, and I think you have a lot to say.
Yeah.
And so, So, hey, what's coming up next? We're going to take a short break. We've got to pay some bills. And after we come back, joining me will be legendary Ricky Motown Brown in celebration of the release of the Michael Jackson movie. He's come on to really kind of talk about his experience, and hopefully, we'll get him to kind of do a little move. I'm so excited about this. So, hey, stay with me and I'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to Moving People to Action. Where we listen, we learn, and hopefully we cause people to move. Man, I'm excited for this episode with my man, Ricky Motown Brown. I would say he's probably one of the top Michael Jackson impersonators in the country. And that really not only looked the part, but he do the part and he danced the part. I just want to dance right now. So, hey, Ricky Motown Brown, welcome to Moving People to Action, my man.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm awesome. It's kind of like I feel like I'm a fan, and I'm all like, shit. Something is coming over me, man. It's just like Michael Jackson is next to me. I'm feeling you making me feel a kind of a way. But hey, just talk about really. I want to first start off in terms of just why has this been such a significant part of your life? You've been doing this for decades, and really, really investing and committing time and effort and resources to keeping the legacy of Michael Jackson alive. Talk to me, man. What makes you motivated to do such?
Well, doing Michael Jackson wasn't an easy job, but since I was a little kid, everybody always called me Michael. So I said to myself, well, why not get paid doing Michael Jackson? Everywhere I went, if I was in church, the mall, school, they always called me Little Michael. So I just start dancing. Then everybody said that you dance like that Jackson kid. I didn't really study him. I just looked at him at times and I could do the moves he did. Then I just put myself into it.
When you think about really what he left in terms of just um, the impact that he's made on the world, um, how does that make you feel that you because I kind of feel growing up that Michael Jackson was part of your life, in terms of just when every time I would run into you, I would try to challenge you and try to do some of the moves you were doing, but I couldn't do them. They just never was as smooth as you did it. But what has the world lost because of him no longer being here? What is that loss to you and to what you think to the world?
Being original, being able to create your own style, testing boundaries, going place that no one been before without being scared. Open up doors for everybody to walk in them.
And when you think about young people out there that, just like you as a kid, you looked at Michael Jackson and you said, dang, I can do that, you know. What would you say to inspire young people that have a hope and dream of entertaining, kind of whatever they want to do? You've been able to sustain for a long time, Ricky, a additional revenue stream. I mean, you've been hired many times doing halftime shows. What would you say to folks that just out there that want to inspire to do something like what you did?
Just keep recreating yourself. Put yourself into his style. You won't be Michael.
That's right. It's only one.
Don't act completely like Michael. Just be yourself, and that will take you a long ways.
Right on. Right on. So when you think about, yeah, I know it's so many, but give me your top three or top one, your songs that when you think about Michael and the impact of his his catalog was so impressive. Can you put your fingers on one or two songs?
I used to like the song "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough."
Okay, I can see that.
Rock with You. The newer one I like, "You Rock My World."
Okay,
A lot of people would think Billie Jean was the song that made him, but he had a lot of songs before that that put him where he needed to be at. That just showed the world how talented he was when he did Billie Jean with his family.
do you think Billie Jean was that turning point for him in terms of just, I know he was the Jackson Fives and things, but was that song that just turned it for him to where he became this mega pop star?
That was one of the songs. I thought Thriller was the song that really
Yeah,
changed,
that's right. Okay.
you know, the performance, the dancing, the acting. That was more of Michael right there, being able to create.
Now, I consider myself a entertainer, performer. I write a little bit, and I travel with people. So been all over the world in terms of live entertainment. What is so unique? What set aside Michael from Usher, from all these other artists that's out there, Prince? What was so unique about him?
Mike's style was unique. His performance, his attitude on stage was different from a lot of those. I don't compare Usher, Chris Brown, them to Michael because he's one of a kind. To be able to perform and have your vocals stay the same and go up and down that stage and perform, that takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, it
A
really
lot of
does.
the entertainers today are not doing that. All the music is coming through the monitors, making sure they don't mess
Now we
up.
got AI now.
All of that.
Or
That's different from that kid. It just had a special talent, you know.
but you said something. You said the word attitude. It's, I think, when you perform, and when I watch him, you can see that attitude of just, it's kind of like he's into himself, and would you say there's a difference between performing, entertaining, show? he, he encompassed, I think, all of it.
All in the one he did. And I could just tell you a story one time. And it was really funny. Me and the guys, which is my guys, the Star Steppers,
Okay.
we was performing. And there was a nice band there. And everybody came to see this band. And the guy said, "What are we gonna do?" I said, "We're gonna do the Jackson medley." They said, "What's that's gonna be different?" I said, "We're gonna entertain the crowd." So we all got into the crowd. And so when our background music came in, nobody knew what was going on. We just come out with different songs of the old songs. And I was saying to myself, I don't want to do none of the old stuff anymore. I want to do some of the new stuff. And when the guy said, they don't care if we do any new stuff, I said, well, I tell you what, if we do my favorite medley, and they're gonna say, what's your favorite melody? I said, You See. And I hit ABC Want You Back and went into I'll Be There and Billie
Okay.
Jean. So it was the show that they was liking because we wasn't completely live at that show, but they
Okay.
thought we was live because they was coming up to
Wow.
me and saying, well, you sound just like that kid. And I was like, well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I didn't sing that one voice, a word of him, but that's entertaining you.
Yeah.
That's the
That's
difference.
the difference.
Performing like he does as far as his singing go, as you said,
Yeah.
he could sing, entertainment, and performing. And that's what our world is about, visual. They like to see stuff, okay?
Yeah.
Makes no difference how that person sound, but if that person entertain you, that's the thing we gonna get out of it.
Yeah. And I think, the gift. I was in London, where Michael Jackson recorded in a studio. I was doing some work with people, and the engineer was recalling when Michael Jackson was in the room by himself, and it was like he said he performed like it was 10,000 people in that studio, and it was just only him. So I think that ability to just regardless of who's in that audience, who's around, just to create that energy without, most people got to have an audience, man.
That's called self.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a style to be a style. I mean, you don't need no one with you to make you better. When you reading a book, you reading alone. Ain't nobody reading a book with you.
That's right.
When you take a test, you taking the test alone.
Alone.
So you have to study for that test if
That's
you
right.
want to get that A.
That's right.
So Michael put all that into his performance.
Yeah.
So if I want to be better,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep on practicing. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna make excuses for anything.
So would you, what you just said, when you think about young people and just adults and young people, the whole thing of just self and no excuses. If you want to get better, I mean, when you think about what you did, the discipline, on average, when you think about it, how often did you have to practice and go over your routines to prepare for a show?
Well, with my guys, it was the chemistry.
Okay.
When I'm not with them going over routines, I'm by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine what would he do at this time when he's on stage.
Right.
So I put that all in my mind. So when the lights hit me, I'm a whole different person.
Oh.
And that's the magic of everything.
Yeah. Yeah. If you would, as we look at transitioning into our last segment and taking a break, I'm interviewing you. I want you to go into character a little bit, okay? I'll say, ladies and gentlemen, hey, welcome again to MP to Action, moving people to action. I have here with me the legendary mega superstar, Michael Jackson, is in the house right here in Omaha, Nebraska. Michael, thank you for taking the time coming on the show. Tell me a little bit about what people will experience tonight at your performance.
Well, I think that they would love it. They're going to get a kick out of it. Because a lot of people say, I know that kid. I know that person. I had a chance to live with this person and watch this person grow. He's a humble person. He gives you anything off his back. That's the person that I like about him and the entertainer that I like about him.
Wow, that's strong. Well, thank you, Michael Jackson. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, hopefully we're going to be able to move this table here and be able to have a little fun, I think I still got a few moves. I'm always challenging you. I'm part of the Jones family, Gatewood, Clarks, and we've been challenging each other for generations.
Oh, you like?
So let's do that. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to MP to Action, moving people to action. Thank you so much for tuning in. We want to thank some of our sponsors, Stable Gray, Clark Connection Group, Cam Productions, Rain Productions. There's so many people that it takes really to build this, and there's opportunities for you to be a part of this as well. And we'll show you ways and how you can become a sponsor for future episodes that's coming up. But man, I'm so excited to end the show with my guy, Ricky Motown Brown. As you can see, we decided to move the table and we're going to stand up and we're going to get jiggy with it. We're going to move a little bit. And so that's what we're going to do. Thank you again for tuning in. And let's go ahead. I want to just, the song that we're going to do, Remember the Time. We're going to do some dance moves. But a rendition that was done by a good friend of mine, Julian Vaughn. Julian Vaughn is going to be here in the city in Omaha, Nebraska in December for a Christmas holiday show. And so, Julian, hey, thank you, man, for this rendition of Michael Jackson, Remember the Time. Let's go. So Ricky, I asked Ricky to kind of, it's been a long time since he's done this, but I told him to kind of go ahead and show us a little bit.
Yeah, you remember this one?
Okay.
There you go. I ain't gonna hurt you. I'm gonna leave you at that.
You got me sweating.
That's enough.
Man, Ricky, thank you so much, brother. Thank you, man, for keeping really Michael Jackson's legacy alive as one of really the greatest entertainers, performers of all times. And so please go out and check out the movie. And really, hopefully, I don't know if you're gonna be, if you're gonna come back on the show announcing that a tour or a reunion, where you're gonna perform, where people can come and see you.
Next time I will be at your show, I will perform. I will be in costumes and do the real performance.
That's what's up, man.
I have my penny loafers with me this time.
Okay. Now, just before we leave, man, do that. What's that one move where he does where he kind of like, oh.
Come on, this one?
I love that.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you guys so much. That's all for this episode of Moving People to Action. Until next time, take the time to be good to yourself. Most of all, breathe deep. Put your mask on first. Right on.
Thank you.